Alright everybody, what's up? We are here with another first-person view cast. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, but I am so happy to see that a new year and a new stream has come about for none other than Scarlett. That's right, we got Sasha over there. This is straight from her first-person view stream. Twitch.tv/ScarlettM. Go check it out, give her a sub, and yeah. I'm not sure exactly when these streams are going to be happening because she's a pro player and she'll basically turn it on whenever she wants, but there are periods where she'll stream a whole bunch in a row, other periods where she won't stream for a while, but this is a special treat because the World Championship's coming up, and to watch her first-person view as an Olympic winning player, multiple-time champion, and just one of our favorite players, huge fan following some of the most famous matches of all time Scarlett has played. To have her first-person view is fascinating. Obviously, the graphic settings aren't amazing. Pro players like visual clarity, so they tend to turn most of the settings down, and they'll just turn a few things up to make things like invisible units easier to see, blurs, say maybe when you see roaches burrowed moving, you can see the dust trails and stuff like that. Now, she's playing against Future here. So the red Terran player is Future over there, bottom right of Blackburn. She's seen that he's actually gone a pretty early Marine, which means there's no Reaper. So knowing there's no Reaper, she's going to be able to skip Zergling production entirely. So you could argue that this is kind of a weak build for Future on this map, because this map specifically, the Overlord arrives so early on that she can actually go, oh, I don't even need to build Zerglings. Cool, I'll just be nice and greedy. And he's going to try and block her third, even though he doesn't have a Reaper. That's very, very cutesy. So she's going to pull a second drone because an SCV does beat a drone in a fight. It's about even, but there we go. She pulls that one back, and he's going to go for the eBay block. Future loves his eBay blocks. She's got to be a little triggered at this point. She's got to start that third queen. She's floating a lot of money right now, but she says, screw it. No. Going for the gold is so dangerous because Terran has a lot of ranged units. So she was going to drop the third. She changes her mind, queues up some queens, third and a fourth queen, but she was slow on her Overlord. Now, if you see any sign of a Terran blocking your third, you should always be building an Overlord immediately so you have completely uninterrupted drone production. But she got forced into extra Zerglings, and her third got delayed. A little unfortunate for her, a little annoying, and I was saying, hey, you can skip the Zerglings and get ahead. Future punished her for that move. So this was really well thought out by Future. You can tell she's a little annoyed at that start. On the other hand, you've got 4 queens earlier than normal. You can get some creep spread out a bit faster, where normally you'd only have 3 queens this fast. And actually, no, she doesn't have a 4th queen. Oh, I think she started it and then cancelled it once she was able to start that base. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Now, obviously, she doesn't have anywhere for her extra drones to go to, but she should still keep building drones and just rally them out to that third in the near future. But you can see that the Hellions are arriving very fast, so she's got to be on high alert, because with this build order, Future's gone barracks, Marine, he's then paused production for a little bit, built a factory, reactor, swapped it over, so he has a very early 4 and 6 Hellion run by that he could do, and this is an amazing scout, because what does she see? No add-on on the starport. So when she sees no add-on on the starport, Scarlett's thinking, well, it can't be a Banshee or a battlecruiser, it's either a Viking, a Liberator, or a Medevac. None of those you really need to get a Spore Crawler for. If she sees a Liberator and knows it's that, she'll put a few spores down to help defend it. But until then, she's just going to keep her eyes open to see if there's a Medevac drop, a sneaky Hellion drop, and otherwise, she's just going to make sure that she doesn't kind of overcommit to any anti-air. So normally around 440, about here, you'd put Spore Crawlers down. She's going to completely skip it, but there goes more Hellions coming in. Now notice she's got the queens out front, and ooh, it's a Hellbat timing. She's got to pull back. She's got to pull all of her queens to the front, and she's got to spread them out. Her Zerglings are getting ready to intercept to make sure any Hellions that rally in are going to be getting surrounded, but her queens are way too clumped. Bit of miss micro from Scarlett so far. Interestingly, though, the Hellbats aren't going in, and it was a Liberator. You can see now that she knows it's a Liberator, she'll put a Spore down. She's going to move that Spore in the main in case that does end up transferring, and the Lings go for a big run-by attack, but you know what? The Hellbats don't overcommit. Looks like Future playing this very cautiously. I thought he was going to commit in there and there would be a Medevac that would boost in and heal up the Hellbats. But you can see he opted for the Liberator, and he's just denying mining on her third, picking off the odd drone or two. She's going to move that Spore Crawler over, try and get some damage on that Liberator with the Queens. And she's still got those Zerglings out of the map. Now that kind of worries me, because if those Hellions decided to drive into her natural and main right now, her Queens are out of position and her Zerglings are out of position. It's a little dangerous, but it would be kind of a crazy move for him to do that at this point when he knows she has so many Zerglings out on the map. And it seems like him building the quick third command center, he's playing it a little more conservative. And it is a big Hellion count, so she might be thinking maybe it's a mech follow-up. She's going to have to scout to try and get some information and confirm. But right now, she's so focused on get the Evos, get the fourth base up on the gold, get all the macro going, and go for all of this stuff. Hellions on the south side going to come in. They're going to pick off a creep tumor. And she's actually going roaches, guys. So she might be assuming this is mech. This is such a good map for mech because there's this one very like close direct pushing path where units can move across. And she's actually going to be playing just mass roach without even seeming to care what he's doing. And now I've seen Cyril play that style a lot on this map. The Roach Ravager. It's not a bad style, but it definitely doesn't scale too well versus heavy siege tanks. Feels like you need to get either some damage done or be very good at transitioning into the Lurker Viper stage of the game. We call this the Cave Bob style because Dark likes to do it a lot, where you just make some roaches and then you just drone up slowly. And it's kind of awkward because roaches are a bit of a one-dimensional unit, but it can surprise people and kill them. And it's also very hard for the opponent to actually push through the roaches. Roaches are very solid. Now, I've actually played a lot of roaches versus Future, where I try and surprise him with mass roach all-ins and all sorts of stuff. And I've actually gotten massively ahead of him sometimes. And the big thing I've noticed is that Future is a true Terran player. So what is a true Terran player? A Terran player is a player who, rather than thinking for themselves, they just copy exactly what Maru does every game. I'm kind of joking here, and I'm kind of not. So what I mean is Future wants to attack. He has preset attack timings in his head that he's planning to do before the game starts. He wants to do them. And even if he sees roaches, he might still attack into her. The problem with that is roaches, as I said, very hard to kill, very good defensive force. So that could play into her hand. But this Liberator is being a pain in the ass. Oh, and look at that. He's focusing the drones down as well. Finally, she gets rid of that. But he denied a lot of mining. That Liberator killed quite a few units. Great usage of a single Liberator to keep the pressure on her. She's now got a Ling run by ready. She's making mass Roach Ravager. Her creep has been pushed back really far. Looks like her roaches have finally been revealed, so it's time for her to move out of the map and say, okay, we've revealed it, but I think she's going for a huge attack. She's got 1-1. She's got the Roach Ravager. Bio Army's pushing into her, but wait, the angle looks kind of awkward there for Scarlet. Oh no, and that gold base exposed. She was hoping to intercept this army before the tanks got sieged up. Now she's going to go around, see if she can engage in the open, but tank's still in range. Big Ling run by, though. Notice how she split a few of those Lings into the main base. Oh, big mistake from Scarlet, but she fixed it so quickly. I want to show you guys something there. Let's quickly rewind. Now, look at what happens here in the bottom display bar. Did you see what she just did? Let me show you guys one more time. I want to show you guys really, really slow. Let's put that speed right down. Let's go. Now notice she goes here to select her arm. She's gone to select her hatcheries, and she's realized her hatchery hotkey has just, I don't know if it's disappeared, but what she's realized is moving her army around. This is her army key. She has a bunch of Roach Ravager on the first tab of the control group. We're looking at the second tab. There's all the eggs she's produced, but she's accidentally added all of her production hatcheries and lair into her hotkey. So she's selected her army, number 1. She's tabbed, probably using tab. I use side mouse button. And now she's going to shift click out those 3 hatcheries in the lair and then remake her control group. And she actually did control shift to remove all the hatcheries in a single click and then shift click out the lair. And then she's remaking her army group in the heat of just splitting Zerglings off into the main and the natural and maneuvering her army on the front. That's some deep muscle memory right there. She's done these moves many times before. And you can see there the Ling's causing a lot of a ruckus all over the place. The Roach Ravager doing some real nice zoning biles, trying to just defend her gold. She's not ready to commit to a fight, and that's such a scary angle attacking down that ramp. Her army is still looking. She wants to catch him moving forward with his tanks where she can bile them. Queen's very good for tanking, but right now she can't attack down that ramp, and Future's just, his map control is so good right now, but she catches him unsieged for a moment, and she's going to take that opportunity. It's such a shit angle to attack into. She feels confident enough, though, and the biles landing on the tanks might make that worth it. Yeah, she does get rid of the tanks. There's a lot of Marauders in here, which are very good at clearing roaches out. She's going to Does she get the triple bile? She does, but there's another tank. He must be rallying off double factory. This is such a powerful push from Future, but these tanks and Marauders are going to take a long time to rebuild, and she does hold the push. That was a really scary moment, but a very important hold. Now remember, he's on 3 base this whole time, by the way, guys. Even though we don't see it on the minimap, this is a 3 base push. So she's maybe up about 8 workers right now. I'm not sure. Probably only about 8. Notice her 4th base, her gold. Even though it's not even quite fully saturated, and 8 of those workers came from her main. So she's probably got 6 workers on that. She's on 72 workers right now, which is just above 3 base saturation. He's on 66. This is almost identical economy. Problem is, her army's cheap to replace Roaches, and she's just whittled him down. So if she can keep trading now while his tank count's low, this is a scary moment for Future. He's got a lot more bio out. His production's been pretty good, but I don't see any tanks firing. There we go. Okay, so they're pretty far back. He's keeping his tanks in a safe position. He's got to pull his SCVs. If she can get rid of the tanks, then she should be able to do this. The SCVs got pulled, but they're fighting only in the mineral line. She only got one of those tanks. You can see how hard it is to fight into defensive siege tanks. Look at that. She splits the Roach forward to draw the tank fire onto the SCVs. Oh my God. She's spreading the Roaches, not just so they don't get the splash damage, but she's also dragging it onto the SCVs right now as well. Oh, just beautiful play. She's now going to go to Hive. She realizes, look, I might not be able to win this game with just Roach Ravager. I need to go Hive and I need to transition. We've got Maples popping live into the chat as I cast this, saying, please don't watch the rest of this video. I skimmed this whole video to find this game. And don't worry, Maples, we won't reveal your 0-14 against Scarlet during this ladder session. It was almost a whole day of Maples trying to cheese Scarlet. And he got pretty close a few times, but she was just rock solid in ZvP this day. Okay. The Medivacs there flying around. Gonna try and just drag her out of position. Future, I think he should stop pushing. Oh! Oh, she gets a Medivac! She went for it! Oh my God, and the Queen's intercept 2 more Medivacs. You're kidding me! Okay, this is such a gamble. This is such a gamble that Scarlet's going for. Oh, it's not even a gamble because it doesn't cost you anything, but it's like a... It's when you try to throw a basketball in from halfway across the court. You just halfway across the court. You're just like, God, maybe it'll land. You never know. And she gets 3 Medivacs. I don't know how many units were in them. If I turn the game sound up, we could maybe hear. You can hear screams to tell if units are inside a Medivac, guys. So if you hear lots of screams, then that means it was filled with units. Cute little tip: if you're ever unsure if you killed the Medivac with units in it or not. Use those ears. But Future's still pushing forward a bit too aggressively. I think he keeps expecting to catch her in the middle of a transition on the way to Broodlords or Banelings or Lings. And actually, oh God, that was such a good fight. The Liberators and tanks. I keep thinking he should wait for a few more tanks, but his army's so big. Now, her army is cheap. She's got the 5th base. She's still able to remax. And anytime you're moving forwards and she lands biles on that army or biles on that tanks, things can get really, really hard. Oh, where are the sports metaphors coming from? No, I haven't been watching any ball sports. Oh, that Liberator's going to go down. Oh, he's pulling the boys. He's all in. He's all in. He's doing a boy pull, and they're actually tanking a lot. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This might be a killing blow. Future, because he doesn't have a 4th base, and she's getting towards Hive Tech. He feels like he's got to go right now. And this is actually so scary. Okay, so she's pulling back. She says, look, I've got to wait for the stims to wear off. He doesn't have many Medivacs. Force him to stim. She's going to pull her boys. She pulls the boys to counter the boys. Boys countering boys. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. She's got to keep falling back. Every stim she baits out is irreversible because he's got no Medivac energy and he doesn't have any units. And she's still got lots of mining in that top left of the map. So as long as she just resets her rally points, she started building a Roach Warren there because her Roach Warren just went down. Oh, no. That's why she pulled the boys. But she's got a Viper gathering energy. She wants to kill the army with a Blinding Cloud on the tank, potentially. The Roach Ravager, it's very good for dropping biles, falling back, dropping biles, falling back. But because he's in between her rallies, notice it's really hard for her to organize her units and make sure they don't just get baited into the army. This is really tough. She's going to go for the Blinding Cloud, but she ends up not being able to get it the first one on the tank. She has to drop it on the bio, but the second one completely messes up those siege tanks. And if she can clear this army, remember, he pulled his SCVs. This should be a winning hold. I mean, she's below 100 supply, though. Holy shit, this is still kind of dicey. because he's got mules on her third. It's just that fifth base in the top left, freshly mining, makes me feel like she's well ahead. She had to build Zerglings with no melee upgrades because she lost the Roach Horn. She can now go back to Roach production. She's transferring workers off her gold. This is an insane game right now. I love that Future went for such a clutch move. I always talk about Future's strength and also his weakness as being that he commits so hard to his timing attacks, where he'll just go so all in that it sometimes kills people when he has no business winning, but it also means that sometimes the player wins just because their win condition gets so simplified to like, literally, I just need to survive. It's not, I need to take the most amazing, I just need to like fall back, survive, fall back, survive. And Scarlett showing a really good usage of that so far. She sees a pretty fat Marine rally over there. She's back to 126 supply. She's still spreading creep in the midst of this. This is that just experience, right? She knows, once again, going for the long shot biles there. Oh, no. That Evo chamber's already really low. She's going to cancel her upgrade if she lets those finish. So Scarlett in the chaos, not quite as measured and calm as always, guys. Her Evo chamber just died there. She just lost an upgrade that was about a third of the way complete. She's now telling them to suck off the third base, realizing that would kill that. Okay, yeah. So she's got to use the healthy structures there, Scarlett. Use the healthy structures. Don't use the damaged ones. A lot of people say, why would you kill your own structures? She should be doing it on her Hive, her Hydroden, her Lurkiden. Those structures are all really healthy up there in the natural. So those are the ones she should be gathering that energy off. Uh-oh, Marines coming in. And look at that, very mobile. Not that many medevacs once again, though. Only 2 medevacs. That's too many Marines to pick up with that. So Future gonna have to fall back on that one. She's got a Roach squad in the top, Roach Viper down here. She looks away. Uh-oh. Oh no, the Vipers! The Vipers! He runs forward and kills the Vipers because she went home to inject. Then she got attacked on the top and he dives on the Vipers and kills all 3 of them. Scarlett cannot be happy with that. Her gold base is under assault. It's not the most important base. Oh, look at the flank. She's setting up a surround. She's setting up a big old surround. But wait, this army on the south falls back. The army on the north continues in. She realizes it's kind of awkward. He's doing a good job of controlling the ramps. There's not that much bio and it's already heavily wounded though. It's already been overstimmed and she gets a big arc in the open. His rally is not that good and Scarlett will win an action-packed Zerg versus Terran match. Some really cool displays of first-person skill here, and just lovely to watch. And she's saying in the post-game, basically, hey, I really thought, she's like, oh, he must have been way down on supply for a long time. So you can see she kind of rewinds the game and is like, okay, how much supply was I ahead during this whole phase from like the SCV pool here? And you can see she's already up 70 supply. He's at 18 SCVs after that worker pool. So it really wasn't all in. Once she held that, she had enough workers. She gets the win. Beautiful play by Scarlett. And you can see here, laddering North America, 6,815 MMR, which is far and away number 1. Only her and Parting were ever really up around there on the North American ladder. You can get top 16 with like 6 or 6-1 MMR, 6,000 or 6-1. But Scarlett there, she's not even in GM because she hasn't even played enough games on North America to qualify for GM, even though she is the highest MMR by far and is dominating the ladder. This was one game in a session where I think she won 15 games in a row, something like that. Absolutely devastating. And you can see here, she's looking at the graphs, and what's one of the funny things is pro gamers pass that information so quickly. You're watching this as like a fan, and you're like, oh, cool, let's see what the pro gamers look at on the score screen, right? What do you gather? And I always tell people, go to the graphs tab and take your time looking through it. Now, Scarlett's so good, when she looks through it, she's literally like she just sees it for a fraction of a second and she's like, that's all I need. This is the army value graph we've got. Hers is the red, his is the blue line. So if we take a look over here, you can see she really crushed this fight just after the 8-minute mark. This was the one where, remember, he had that contained down her gold ramp for a while. And it feels like even though she lost quite a lot of Roach Ravager Queen there, I think her units were just so much cheaper. And it seems like that was the first big momentum shift where he'd already denied her mining on the gold for a bit and caused a lot of pressure. I think looking at that graph, that tells us that Future probably should have unsieged those tanks and just ran that army home, gathered up more units, and then gone for another push a little bit later, because we know that when you get up to 6 or 7 or 8 tanks and maxed out on bio, Roach Ravager doesn't really hold a candle to that. They can't fight against it But you could see that she took a very important fight there well before he was maxed out, and that was really huge. You can also see that there was, I don't know if this was the SCV pool here, but you can see he lost a ton of army there. She did as well. They both got down to the dumps, but I think that coincided with him pulling the workers. So let's see if she shows that worker graph as well.
Scary.
You can see she's got 432 APM. His was a little lower.
Got it.
Does she show the worker graph? Come on, swap those graphs around, Scarlett. Nope, she just clicks through the tabs mindlessly. I say mindlessly, she probably is actually somehow reading that information faster than we obviously could ever hope for. Anyway, guys, don't forget to go support Scarlett, twitch.tv/ScarlettM. Get over there, give her a sub, check out her live channel, and thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.